Hi, in this video I will show you how to use Device library for Node.js. First I will present few ways to set up the project, then we will have a look on basic Raspberry example and set it up on Raspberry Pi. So let's get started. If you want to start from scratch, probably the most convenient way to set up your project would be to use one of templates available in download section. You can choose either JavaScript or TypeScript version, depending on what you prefer for a particular project. For simplicity, I will use JavaScript version. Let's unzip it. Change the name, I'll call it switch, and install dependencies. Done. Project is set. Of course, you may want to customize package.json file as well, but for clarity I won't mess with it right now, it's optional. I'm leaving it to you guys. Let's open index.js. I use VS Code as my IDE this time, but you can use whatever is convenient for you. As you can see, project contains some imports. In this example, I will just use device library, so I'll get rid of controller import. There is a separate video about controller. I'll just stick to device library this time. It's just a demo, so I won't do any rocket science here. I'll just give my device a name, create single boolean input, and invoke start method. And that's it, our device is ready. Let's start it and have a look into user interface. Great, device works fine. It looks a bit pointless, but if you check the video about data pipes, you will find that such dummy devices can still be quite useful if you pipe them to several other inputs, as it allows to control multiple parameters at once. Okay, but what if you want to include StarGate into existing project? Here I have written some really simple code to demonstrate it. It's just printing some text into console. Let's say we would like to have this text available in browser. With StarGate it's pretty simple. I just copy the dependency from blank project and use npm to install it on my existing project. I will copy require as well. If your package is a module.js, you can use import statement from TypeScript version instead. Now our project is set. Let's create getString value to hold our message and replace console log with message setValue. As last step, I will give my device a name and start it. Done. Let's check if it works. Cool, our message is now displayed in user interface. As you could see, Node.js Device can be a purely logical process that is just creating or processing some data, but it can be a physical device as well. Let's utilize Raspberry Pi single board computer and its 40-pin GPIO header. For the purpose of demonstration, I will use basic Raspberry example. Same as basic LED example from Arduino section, it basically controls brightness of single LED. So let's download it and have a look into the code. On top there are some imports. Package type is module this time, so I use import instead of require. The example is using device library and some third-party libraries to handle pin control logic. If you prefer to use something else for this purpose, no problem, use whatever is convenient for you. Within init block, which comes from Raspi library, I create value to hold a pin my LED is connected to, create gate value of float type, defining value direction as input, name the value, set the value range to what is acceptable by write method of my pin, and assign a callback that will be invoked every time LED brightness would be modified externally. Additionally, I assign a callback that should switch my LED off if nobody subscribes LED brightness and back on when someone does. Typically it happens when you use user interface. It automatically subscribes all visible values and unsubscribe them when they goes out of sight. Finally, I give my device a name and start it. That's it about the code. Let's move it to Raspberry. I'm using some remote access tools to interact with my Raspberry, but if you prefer, you can connect it to some display and play with it directly. Let's install our package. And it's ready to go. I launch sudo node basic raspberry.js and check the user interface. Cool. Raspberry joined as expected and is operational. And that's all for now. Hope it gave you some useful information. If you have any doubts or just want to share something with us, please leave a comment under this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.